Tonight, charges in a fatal hit and run.
The accused driver was arrested and charged.
New developments in the investigation.
Happy that somebody has been charged with this and that the courts can do their due process.
Involving the death of a Kitchener tow truck operator along the 401. More pleas and sentences in the case surrounding the death of a Kitchener man.
Justice has not been served. They have no remorse.
The anger and the messages from the family.
Love your family because you never know what could happen.
Tomorrow is not always guaranteed.
Of Jason Brown. And the gift of giving.
It's been a really hard year, so with your help, we actually get to have a Christmas dinner now.
We're so glad that we were able to help. Thank you for reaching out.
A business caught up in the trade war steps up.
Times have been so tough lately for people, and it's just a way that we can try and help out.
To spread some Christmas joy.
Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug?
Of course you can.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good evening. Nearly 3 weeks after a Kitchener tow truck operator was killed in a hit and run on the 401, a truck driver is facing criminal charges in the case. The man from Mount Hope near Hamilton was arrested today. Let's go to CTV's Colton Weens now for more on this. Colton, we should remind people too, the crash happened back on December 3rd, and this was on the 401 just west of Waterloo Region.
Yeah, that's right. A 42-year-old man from Kitchener was helping a stranded motorist on the highway when he was hit and killed. Tony, the vehicle that hit him didn't stay at the scene, and police put out information looking to identify a driver. Then today, officers arrested 32-year-old Sandeep Singh from Mount Hope. Nearly 3 weeks after a tow truck operator from Kitchener was killed on Highway 401, police arrested and charged a man Monday.
The Oxford OPP arrested and charged a 32-year-old male from Mount Hope, Ontario, with dangerous operation causing death and failure to stop after an accident resulting in death.
On December 3rd, a 42-year-old tow truck operator from Kitchener was helping a stranded motorist near Oxford Road 3 when he was hit by a passing vehicle just after 7 in the morning. The vehicle that hit him fled the area. Police released a photo of a vehicle of interest and said they had identified a driver on December 4th.
Between that time and now, a full investigation took place with assistance from the Oxford OPP Major Crime Unit as well as the OPP Traffic Incident Management Enforcement Team. And as a result of that investigation, on today's date, the accused driver was arrested and charged.
32-year-old Sandeep Singh of Mount Hope was arrested on Monday.
We just want to thank the public for their assistance in providing the information that they did. And again, just want to share our thoughts and condolences to the victim's family and loved ones during this tragic time.
The president of the Professional Towing Association of Ontario tells CTV News it means a lot to the industry to see charges laid.
We're just, happy that somebody has been charged with this and that the courts can do their due process on it.
Following the crash, tow truck operators from across the province gathered in Kitchener to hold a procession along the 401, celebrating the life of the man that was killed and to remind all drivers in Ontario that it is law to move over and slow down for emergency vehicles and tow trucks on the highway with their flashing lights on.
To know that the system is working as it's such. And it is a reminder to all the motorists out there that they need to slow down, move over. And if they don't, there's consequences for it. So, yeah, we're definitely, as an industry, very pleased to see that this has happened.
Now, Singh was released from custody and is expected to appear in court in Woodstock on January 27th. Police say they are not looking for any other suspects. Tony.
Okay, Colton, CTV's Colton Weens tracking new developments in that case today for us. Thank you. And we have new developments in the case surrounding the abduction and killing of a Kitchener man whose body was found by a road in Oshawa. Today, 2 of 5 people who were charged in the case pleaded guilty to the aggravated assault of Jason John Brown. But Brown's family says it hasn't brought them closure or a sense of justice. CTV's Hannah Schmidt reports.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions. So.
For the Brown family, Monday was supposed to bring answers. Instead, it brought more heartbreak.
I feel disgusted, and I feel that their charges are not what they should be.
In March 2019, Jason John Brown and a friend went to the Harriston Cemetery to pick up something. The Crown reading in court a synopsis of what happened. Brown ended up being beaten with a baseball bat, tied with duct tape, put in a vehicle and driven to a motorcycle gang clubhouse in Toronto. He died either en route or at the clubhouse. His body was found the next day, dumped along the side of a road in Oshawa. In a Guelph courtroom on Monday, Stephen John Walsum Garriggs and Travis Willard Wand, 2 of 5 people charged in the case, pleaded guilty to the aggravated assault of Brown. Walsum Garriggs also pleaded guilty to assault causing bodily harm of the friend who was at the cemetery with Brown at the time. According to the Crown, the friend has since died, making him the sole eyewitness who can no longer testify.
And now somebody else's family has to go through what we're going through for something that had nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. He was just a ride for my brother to get to somewhere.
Walsum Garriggs has been in custody since his arrest in 2023. He was sentenced to 5 additional days on top of time served. Wand, who was arrested in 2024, was sentenced to 11 months on top of time served.
I think their sentences definitely does not reflect what they had done at all.
The Crown called the case challenging from the beginning. Complicated because multiple people were involved and there's uncertainty about what happened after the group left the cemetery. Both the accused were asked if they wanted to address the court. Walsum Garriggs declined. Wand spoke briefly, saying, "I apologize for my actions." The judge accepted a request that Wand serve the remainder of his sentence at the Algoma Treatment and Remand Center, citing access to rehabilitation programs.
Justice has not been served. They have no remorse.
As the proceeding ended, Wand was seen blowing kisses to one of Brown's sisters, Tara calling back to him, "Remember my face."
He started blowing kisses at me. Shocked.
As the family prepares for another Christmas without Brown, they say the support around them matters, even as they say justice still hasn't been done.
Tomorrow is not always guaranteed, and yeah.
2 others charged in the case have previously pleaded guilty. One accused remains before the court. Hannah Schmidt, CTV News, Guelph.
Okay, time for a first look at the weather as we head over to Ashley Bacon in studio. And the weather is a bit of a developing story on its own right now with some possible messy conditions incoming.
Oh, I don't think it's possible. I think it's going to happen, Tony. Environment Canada issuing a special weather statement just in the last half an hour or so for tomorrow morning, specifically around driving conditions. So your commute, if you're still going to school, if you're still going to work, might be a little bit of a messy, slow one. So make sure you take your time. We're looking at around 4 to 8 centimeters of snowfall overnight, but the temperatures will start to warm up, causing weather changing conditions. So that might turn into freezing rain before it gets into rain tomorrow afternoon. So that commute first thing in the morning might be a bit of a messy one. As this starts to develop, I will certainly keep you up to date. As for right now, though, if we look at our satellite, there is a little precipitation. If you're out in Kitchener-Waterloo right now, you might see some flurry activity starting. It's not going to be a lot, as I mentioned. You'll start to see those 2 to 4 centimeters overnight around the 1 a.m. mark. That will continue to linger throughout the region over the next 24 hours or so. Temperature-wise, though, we're still sitting above 0 at 1 degree at this hour, so it is still very warm and very much going to feel that way for the next few days, but I'll have those details coming up. Tony.
Okay, Ash, thank you very much. We are learning more about the Toronto venue where around $10 million in government money was spent to train workers, a venue that was then licensed as an adult entertainment club. CTV's John Woodward spoke with one of the people slated to dance there as opposition politicians pushed for the arrangement to be examined in an investigation by the legislature's ethics watchdog.
Zlatko Starkovsky's nightclubs in Toronto have brought in big names in showbiz and often in politics as well. Starkovsky was dubbed the favorite nightclub owner of former Toronto mayor and late brother of the premier, Rob Ford.
There is a brand new club in the city.
But it was his application this year for an adult entertainment club license at FYE Nightclub that got Ontario's political opposition fired up. After all, this was the venue where the controversial Skills Development Fund paid almost $10 million over 4 years to a partner agency for retraining women who may need to enter a new line of work.
Did the Premier actually give $10 million of taxpayer money to the owners of a strip club?
The Minister of Labour.
No.
Just one of many controversial grants through the province's $2.5 billion Skills Development Fund. The minister overseeing that fund now the subject of an investigation by the legislature's Integrity Commissioner. CTV News obtained Starkovsky's business license application through a Freedom of Information request. It shows floor plans and a promise of a sophisticated burlesque experience featuring Pastel Supernova.
Been there. I've worked there.
Reached by CTV News, Supernova says she hasn't performed there this year and said burlesque is very different than stripping, though authorities often license them the same way.
It's tricky because some places to do burlesque, you need that type of license.
That license also displayed at Club Paradise on Bloor, where court documents show Starkovsky was once in business with the current operators. He's also listed as being paid about $32,000 in fundraising expenses by the PC party in 2022. He didn't return calls from CTV News, but in the past has denied that any government money went to train anyone at FYE nightclub. The Ford government denies Jobs Fund money went to FYE nightclub and says an inspection in November didn't find any concerns about the training at the building.
I think it's ridiculous for them to try to pretend like they don't know the kind of nature of his businesses. And if they didn't, then they didn't do their due diligence.
Opposition parties hoping the Integrity Commissioner will explore the connections. John Woodward, CTV News.
As the clock ticks closer to Christmas, many people are scrambling to get things done, and the busy pace can come with risks on the roads. CTV's Jack Morse explains.
Crowded roads, messy parking lots, people rushing to and fro.
Everyone is stressed trying to get their shopping done, get the ingredients for dinners and stuff, and they're forgetting to be jolly in the spirit, and they're just trying to get things done.
The holidays are one of the busiest times of the year, and according to a new survey, that festive stress doesn't go away when you get behind the wheel. The Leger poll for Allstate says half of drivers say holiday stress, fatigue, and social obligations make them less focused while driving.
Traffic's higher, everybody's rushing around.
Half of people asked mentioned busier roads and heavy traffic adding to holiday driving stress. 3/4 say bad weather is to blame, and many of the people we spoke to said the same.
It just comes in huge clumps. I'm from Wasaga Beach, and all of a sudden you've got 4 feet of snow appear in one day.
Look at these driving conditions out here. We got people with no winter tires, slipping, sliding around like it's a tubing zone.
But it's not just the bad weather's effect on our own driving. For many, it's what messy, busy roads do to other drivers that causes the stress.
I think it's more the traffic jams, and of course people are driving the cars, right?
People need to be more cautious on the roads. Highway driving gets 10 times more stressful.
The survey says drivers under 35 are more likely to feel the holiday driving stress, but what can you do about it?
It's more important to concentrate on the traveling there than on the destination itself. Canadians should be mindful to plan ahead to reduce stress, drive only when they need to drive, avoid driving during bad weather events, stay calm and adjust for winter weather conditions.
Christmas and New Year's are two of the most dangerous driving days of the year, and being careful can be the difference that means you make it home. Jack Moore, CTV News, Barrie.
And from the roads to the air, no shortage of passengers arriving at Pearson Airport today, either returning home or visiting for the holidays. CTV's Allison Hurst was on hand to catch some of the warm welcomes.
The anticipation was mounting as Gurpar Tapgill and family waited to see his brother.
He's coming to Canada for his studies now, so just waiting here with these signs and some balloons.
The moment they saw him, they took off for the ramp holding signs and balloons. Ready to embrace a new chapter, living in the same city.
That's the only reason I came on 23rd, because I'm looking forward to see Christmas as well. Christmas is celebrated brilliantly here, so I'm really, excited and want to spend the rest of the time with my family.
Mary Connors could hardly contain her excitement, racing to her parents who she hadn't seen for almost 2 years.
Brilliant. Yeah, just for the
grandkids now.
Yeah. Christmas.
While Pankit Patel's 2-year reunion with her mother left her speechless.
Very. I can't express myself.
Yuman Wang took a few minutes to make a special welcome while waiting for her family to arrive from Korea.
My parents and my older sister is coming.
While Shane Rogan is traveling prepared for that special moment, flowers in hand.
Oh yeah, that was the first stop. I had to pick them up.
He is flying through Toronto to Montreal from Dublin to see his girlfriend.
I'm excited. It's been so long. I haven't seen her since August, so it's great, yeah.
Emotions high for everyone reconnecting.
It's actually been a year.
and I live in New York, but I was there on a green card, and with things happening, I didn't feel I could come back until I had my American passport.
Braden Kruger made the trip from Slovakia for just 3 days to see his parents.
My mom's birthday is the 24th, and so I want to be there for that. And my brother's also in Japan, and so I feel a little bit more pressure trying to come home. So get home next year.
First of all, I was crying over other reunions that were happening today, and I'm thrilled.
Thrilled to be reunited this holiday season. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
Trying to navigate a trade war, but still giving the community a big helping hand. Coming up, CTV's Alexandra Hollick hears from a business that's had a very uncertain year, but is still making sure some families don't miss out on holiday traditions.
I'm Heather Center, and health experts are urging Canadians to get the flu shot as this country experiences the highest flu positivity rate in years. But what are the cases like in Waterloo Region? That story is just ahead.
From snow to freezing rain and showers tomorrow, it looks like we're in for a whole mixed bag of winter weather. I'll have those details coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
This flu season's being described as more severe than usual. Canada's flu positivity rate is the highest it's been in 3 years. And across Waterloo Region, that has some people being cautious about upcoming holiday gatherings. CTV's Heather Centerin is live now with more on this. And Heather, you paid a visit to a local pharmacy today where they administer flu shots.
And they've been busy, Tony. Across their 4 locations, they've given about double the flu shots this year compared to last.
Demand for the flu shot is up this year, according to the owner of Queen's Pharmacy in Kitchener.
Especially after the pandemic, I think it went down, the demand went down a little bit, but it's picking up again.
This comes as influenza cases surge across the country. Health Canada reporting the highest positive tests in 3 years, with Ontario cases being the highest.
It just mutates every year. It's different strains, so it could be a little bit stronger this year, or our bodies don't have the antibodies against it, so more people are affected by it.
In its most recent surveillance report, which has data up to December 13th, Region of Waterloo Public Health says there have been 343 total cases of the flu this season, with 130 reported in the span of a week. The Director of Infectious Disease says it isn't too late to get the flu shot, especially those at highest risk.
Elderly, young children, those who have other illnesses, the vaccine is protective against getting very ill with flu, so we still recommend it.
It's advice this couple is following.
I got a flu shot and a COVID shot this year, mostly because we have this little person here that we want to watch out for.
While the holidays are a time for gathering with loved ones, experts say be cautious.
Unfortunately, one of the things we do recommend is staying home if you're sick, so not to visit family or friends if you're feeling unwell, because you're just going to pass it on.
Some keep to the motto, better to be safe than sorry.
Like, we canceled Thanksgiving for that reason.
Yeah, because we were
Somebody
really
got sick in our family, and so we decided, you know what?
Yeah.
Better to hold off.
How sick you get from the flu varies, but if you're getting prolonged shortness of breath or high fever that isn't getting better with medication and rest, Public Health says to seek medical attention.
There's a strain that we're seeing a lot of across Canada this flu season, H3N2. Health experts are saying it is more infectious and causing more severe illness. But it is important to note the current version of this year's vaccine isn't a perfect match for what's circulating. But experts say the flu shot is better than no protection at all. Tony.
CTV's Heather Centerin on this flu season. Okay, Heather, thank you. The trade war sparked by U.S. tariffs brought an uncertain year for many businesses, especially those dealing in metals. But the climate isn't stopping a Kitchener metal shop from keeping its holiday tradition of providing families in need with a hearty Christmas dinner. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has that story.
From butterball turkeys to pounds of potatoes, this Kitchener metal store is making a list and checking it twice.
For the second year in a row, we've been able to do our Metal Supermarket Kitchener Cares program.
The program provides families with the necessities for a hearty holiday meal.
Each family receives a turkey and stuffing and vegetables and potatoes and chocolates and in a bag that we deliver to them. So they don't even have to go anywhere or try to arrange pickup.
This year, 61 households will benefit from the Kitchener Cares program, a 50% increase from last Christmas.
It's just our way to give back. Times have been so tough lately for people, and it's just a way that we can try and help out.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for reaching out. It's a little heavy.
It's okay, I got it. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't be able to celebrate Christmas. So, like, it means a great deal. I really appreciate their help, and they don't know how much it means to me.
The little blue bag goes a long way.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I usually like to give back in some way, but this year we kind of needed it, so it's been great.
This year started with some uncertainty for metal supermarkets in Kitchener. A raging trade war slammed tariffs on steel and aluminum, putting pressure on the company and its costs.
We haven't seen any major hits. The majority of the stuff that we deal with, the aluminum and the steel and everything, is North American. It's Canadian. There are times where we do come across where there is material that is a higher price due to tariffs, but I mean, that's what the industry is.
Regardless of what's in store for the industry in 2026, Metal Supermarkets in Kitchener says it hopes to keep up with the hearty holiday tradition and get more helpers and families on board for next year. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
And in the Ottawa community of Greeley, another giveaway today, this one at a grocery store. A woman who received an unexpected windfall this year is sharing it with her community. CTV's Leah LaRocque explains.
I'm here to present you with a Christmas gift today. Really? I am.
An unexpected act of generosity on a trip to the grocery store.
My goodness, I don't believe it.
Leaving Fred Warnell speechless and in tears.
Don't cry, love, don't cry, because you'll make me cry, and I'm ugly when I cry.
Patty Warden giving out more than $20,000 in grocery gift cards. A small act of paying it forward, she says, after becoming a multi-millionaire.
Congratulations, Patty.
Last May, Warden won the $70 million Lotto Max.
Since winning $70 million, Patty has been giving a lot of it away to people in need in the best ways she knows how. She says it's because she knows firsthand what it's like to go without.
Some traumatic things happened to me. Then it turned out I had cancer. And then when I got better, instead of being smart and picking up my life where it left off, I ended up downtown on drugs. I was homeless for some time, sleeping on a park bench. And with coffee, you always need a ton of sugar.
After building her life back, the mother of 4 says the money was life-changing.
It's changing the aspect of being able to do more for others, but for my personal self, hasn't changed at all. And today you got a $300 gift card to help with Christmas dinner.
What?
Yes.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Which is why when Warden heard that many families couldn't afford to put Christmas dinner on the table this year, she wanted to do something.
She's always been like this, so I'm not surprised, but I think she's incredible for doing it.
And there was one more surprise for Warnell. He had no idea the gift card was for $300.
My goodness gracious, I don't believe it. I'm lost.
A moment Warden says is priceless.
I want the world to be happy, that's all. I'm just trying to share my happiness.
Leah LaRocque, CTV News.
What a beautiful story. Okay, Central Park in Preston is our live look outside tonight. Lit up beautifully. Nice night for a walk. On the mild side, but things are about to get messy. Ashley's back in with the latest on a special weather statement from Environment Canada that you're going to want to be on top of for tomorrow, that's for sure. And later, nothing says nostalgia like those shows we grew up with. We'll stop by a place where you can relive all of those memories in one visit. And trust me, Ashley and I are going to have some thoughts on that as well. Next, though, hitting the hills. CTV's Karis map on the season beginning at Chicopee. We'll find out how opening weekend went. Well, Ashley's here with our forecast. I'd love to get all nostalgic now, but we've got to cover the here and now right now.
We've got a lot going on in the weather, Tony. I mean, as everyone knows at home, it's been a little bit warmer today and not too much precipitation, but that's all starting to change in the next little bit. We are seeing some flurries already out there, so.
And the temperature went up pretty quickly because it was pretty cold this morning, and then that warm-up came, and now the mix is about to happen.
And it's going to do this over the next 12 hours or so, which is going to cause potentially some issues for tomorrow morning. Let's take a look outside at what we can see right now. It is nice and clear. Dan, our cameraman, bringing this beautiful shot from Preston tonight. Thank you, Dan. And he mentioned a little earlier before the show that it was light flurries out in Kitchener before he got to Preston. It doesn't look like there is too much flurry activity where he is at the moment, but that could change quickly. We're looking at around 2 to 4 centimeters of snow over the next 12 hours or so. So not a significant amount, but this is where things start to get messy. Environment Canada issuing a special weather statement for potentially hazardous driving conditions tomorrow morning. We might see it turn into freezing rain around that commuter's time, around 7, 8, 9 in the morning. So if you are out on the road, please be sure to keep an eye out. It might be black ice, so drive slowly. And certainly if there are plows or salters out, give them lots of space to do so. We're looking, as I said, only to about 4 to 8 centimeters and some freezing rain drizzle potential. That's going to shift into rain later tomorrow afternoon. So overall conditions not too bad at the moment, but it is gearing up for a bit of a messy start to your Christmas Eve tomorrow. Looking right now at our futurecast, this is 1 a.m. So that's that patch of precipitation that we're going to see start to come through. That's that flurry activity. That will continue to about 5 a.m. Still in the purple here, so still expecting to be under that freezing mark and it to be changing over into rain by noon. Those rainy conditions are going to last throughout the day tomorrow. We're not expecting a significant amount of rainfall, but just enough to make things a little bit messy. Conditions across the country right now, we're looking over in the west coast, 8 degrees in Vancouver, minus 23 just over the Rockies in Edmonton, minus 18 in Regina. On the east coast, we're looking at minus 19 in St. John's and 3 in Toronto. So a wide range of temperatures coast to coast today. Here at home, we're sitting at 1 degree in Kitchener-Waterloo, so still above the freezing mark tonight. Very warm conditions for this time of year. Overnight, we're not dipping that far, just about -1, and that's why we're going to see the potential for those freezing rain conditions to come into play. That risk is going to happen, like I said, around the early morning commute time. Those flurries starting around 1 a.m. Tomorrow, though, daytime high of 4 degrees, so above seasonal, likely going to see a lot of that snow that falls melt. We have seen a lot of melt over the last week or so because, of course, it's been a little bit warmer than we had the beginning of this month rather. And our almanac, you can see back in 2015, 12.1 degrees. So it can be quite warm and it can be quite cool. Looking at our 7-day forecast for your Christmas Eve, 0 and cloudy. Cloudy conditions and 2 for Christmas Day. And by Boxing Day, the rain coming back into play. In Lanton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions there, 3 and cloudy on your Christmas Eve Wednesday. By Thursday, 5 degrees and a warm 6 going into next weekend. Looking at southern Georgian Bay, cloudy and -1 in Wednesday, cloudy and 1 degree on Thursday, so above 0 there, and then the sleet returning for Friday. So messy conditions pretty much throughout the rest of the week in southwestern Ontario. Okay, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher photo from this morning. I love this picture. Joanne sent it in, and Tony, what I love about this blue jay, it feels relatable. Its little feathers blowing in the wintry wind. That's how I feel when I take my dog out at 6 a.m. for our walk. So.
Yeah, we've all kind of been fluttering around lately in these blustery conditions.
A little bit. I feel bad for the poor little guy. guy.
That's a nice shot, though.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
And, well, we've had a lot to talk about with the weather right now, but it's also been great because Chicopee in Kitchener opened over the weekend.
Absolutely, Tony. Saturday marked the earliest opening the resort has seen in a while. Here's CTV's Karis Mapp with more.
Chicopee Ski Hill opened Saturday for its 91st winter season. The ski and summer resort getting the earliest start it's seen in the last 5 years.
Pre-Christmas, people are out now. Lots of people are still shopping, but the keeners who are out here today, it's fantastic. We have a lot of new staff who are getting up to speed, so it actually works really well.
Many of those treading the slopes are students who had their last day of school on Friday.
I was dying to get out here, and just seeing my friends. We were really aiming for getting first chair, but also coming in the morning like earlier and having a lot of time to snowboard.
It's going great. We've gone down at least like 16 times, something like that, and it's really fun.
A big part of the early opening comes after the area saw significant snowfall.
The biggest thing about getting snow early is that people actually think about winter, this great Canadian winter, and they want to know, what can we do? Well, one of the great things is Chicopee here in Kitchener-Waterloo.
Both snowboarders and skiers alike taking their time to get used to hill conditions.
There was a little like powder, but it started to freeze a little bit.
All the jumps, that's my favorite part.
Whether going down a hill for the first time or a seasoned pro, officials say there's something for everyone to enjoy.
Doesn't matter your level of skill, you still ride up the lifts together. And we have an amazing Discover program here at Chicopee, so we take people who have never slid before in their life. They can come here and we'll teach you how to do it on skis or on a board.
The hills are pretty beginner friendly, so all my friends who want to learn how to ski can come here and play.
Oh, I have so much fun every year. It's like my favorite thing in the winter.
It's amazing. Best hill around here.
Yeah, it's nice to have a hill good and close to home, and it's like regularly maintained, and they do a really good job here.
Hours vary throughout the holiday season, but come the new year, the hill is open every day from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., with the season expected to wrap up at the end of March break. Karis Mapp, CTV News, Kitchener.
A new Canadian ambassador to the U.S. at a critical time in the trade war. More on that story next. After some contentious bargaining and 2 strikes in as many years, Canada Post and the Postal Workers Union have reached tentative agreements. The 2 sides finalized the agreement after reaching a deal in principle last month. The deal, pending ratification votes set for early in the new year, includes higher wage increases, enhanced benefits, and a weekend parcel delivery model. Both sides have promised not to engage in any strike or lockout activity during the ratification process. Nearly a year into the trade war, Canada's announced a new ambassador to the U.S. Mark Wiseman will replace Kirsten Hillman in February. The change comes at a crucial time as Canada gets set to renegotiate the existing trade deal with the U.S. and Mexico, which has so far shielded the Canadian economy from the worst of tariffs. But things could soon shift. CTV's Jeremy Charon reports.
He is a global investment banker, pension fund manager, and friend of Prime Minister Mark Carney. Now, Mark Wiseman will be Canada's next ambassador to the U.S.
There is going to be an enormous amount of hurdles and landmines that the ambassador is going to have to walk through.
He steps into what is widely viewed as Canada's top foreign post without any diplomatic experience, but the Prime Minister's office points to his extensive experience at American financial institutions and knowledge of capital markets on both sides of the border.
He brings that outside of politics, real-world experience that I think will be of benefit to the country for sure.
In a social media post announcing the appointment, the Prime Minister says, as a core member of our negotiating team, I know he will advance the interests of Canadian workers, businesses, and institutions.
Carney is betting that Wiseman's finance credentials will command the attention and the respect of Trump.
A bet that couldn't come with higher stakes for the trade relationship between the two countries.
And there's a lot of anxiety over sectoral tariffs and then the Kuzma review. So really important here in this case that the Prime Minister has recruited someone who's a globally recognized deal maker.
In 2025, the current Kuzma deal helps shield Canada from the worst impacts of tariffs. But with its review set to begin in the new year, there are no guarantees.
the president can and quite possibly will walk away from this agreement. And if he does, then I think all bets are off.
Sources tell CTV News Wiseman won't be alone at the negotiating table. The Prime Minister, along with Dominic LeBlanc, the Minister in charge of Canada-U.S. relations, will also play critical roles. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
A Kitchener business is preserving memories and meaningful items. In this week's Made Right Here, we visit a place where they are making sure special pieces are saved and seen.
Hi, I'm Chris Baker at the Framing and Art Centre in the Belmont Plaza, where we do lots of custom framing. Here in our shop, we frame almost anything that doesn't move. We've framed memorabilia, people's mementos that are really important to them, old needle points, lace collars. We do a whole lot of paintings, anything that people really want to protect and be able to look at every day instead of having it sitting in your drawer. Because we're a full-service framing store, your artwork never leaves the building, and it's completed by myself or my colleague Anne-Marie. The artwork is stored carefully. We order the molding and complete the project within about 10 days. I think that the customer who comes in here wants to invest wisely, not to be a fad, but to make sure that they're going to frame something really well, frame it once for life. And we guarantee our work, it doesn't matter how long ago we framed it. We are very lucky that a lot of our customers trust us implicitly, and though we get lots of input, they also trust us to make decisions with them. The paintings that you'll see up on the wall right now, they are mine, and one of the reasons I enjoy them being up there is because I can kind of showcase the different ways of framing. It's nice to have it here. It's a tool for me. When someone comes in and picks up the finished product, and I open up the package and they stand back, when I hear wow or I see tears of joy, it's so rewarding. I answered an ad in the KW Record 50 years ago, and it said, one-of-a-kind fun job, and it is. I love coming to work, I love meeting people, I love the creativity of every piece of artwork that comes in. We're going to treat it as it's the only one we've ever seen and make it very special.
Brazen thefts right in front of recording cameras. Coming up, our look at the year's top 10 stories continues with the thieves just helping themselves at liquor stores.
Holiday set decoration provided by Royal City Nursery.
We have been looking back recently at our top stories from 2025, and tonight we take a look at the kind of crime that hit Waterloo Region and communities all over Ontario: brazen liquor store thefts. One man recently got a 5-year jail sentence for dozens of the crimes, but many remain unsolved, as CTV's Colton Weens tells us in number 6 of our top 10 stories.
The video went viral in August. 6 people walking out of the Pioneer Park LCBO in Kitchener with an estimated $8,000 worth of alcohol. A few days later, the Premier called them a brazen bunch of crooks.
They just do not care. It's the taxpayers' money, the LCBO. We got to catch these guys and throw them in jail.
It's the kind of crime that kept Waterloo Regional Police busy throughout the year.
We've had over 900 LCBO-related calls this year already. We've laid over 500 charges.
Police said they were committed to holding the suspects accountable, and the Premier felt confident they'd be caught, but no arrests were made.
And these things are very difficult. There's stolen vehicles often involved, and if people don't come forward and point you to a suspect, sometimes it's very difficult to identify one.
Just days later, video is released showing thieves at it in Wellington County, where a number of LCBOs were also hit this year.
When you have a photo of someone, you're going to have to rely on someone knowing them. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that be done through mugshot searches digitally, you know, kind of face recognition stuff. And inevitably, normally, one of these goofballs has someone that thinks a friend's going to drop a dime on them, you know, and you hope for that to occur, and then there's someone to investigate and go after. I'm a little bit surprised in those cases that no one's called Crime Stoppers or something, but at the same time, Crime Stoppers call alone is not going to result in an arrest, but it certainly would help.
In some other parts of Ontario, including Peel Region, arrests were made in dozens of organized thefts. But Lewis points out many of those caught don't spend much time behind bars.
The courts aren't necessarily taking these things seriously. I mean, you can't lock up everybody, but if somebody's doing 30 robberies of liquor, brazen robberies of liquor stores, I'm pretty sure they should be behind bars until trial.
Ford promised to reach out to the Prime Minister to discuss bail reform. While officials work to address the issue, police in the LCBO do not recommend intervening with thieves.
I know it's frustrating, but unfortunately, we don't know if these individuals are armed with any type of weapon.
The intelligence guys in all these departments are connected, and they'll be sharing information, sharing pictures, sharing informants, and doing all sorts of stuff. Inevitably, these cases will be solved as well.
While no arrests have been made in the Kitchener or Wellington County cases, Lewis says police stations all share information, and he's confident that they are still investigating. Colton Ween, CTV News, Kitchener.
And we'll have more news in a moment. First, let's check in with Ashley.
Well, messy road conditions are expected first thing tomorrow morning, but the good news, warmer weather is on the way. Stay with us.
105.3 Virgin Radio is KW's #1 hit music station. Home of Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning. Listen to 105.3 Virgin Radio everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Okay. All right. We're just having some fun in between segments here.
You know, you gotta love Christmas,
You do.
know, and the holidays,
Everybody
Hanukkah,
feels-
and everyone's in a good mood,
There's
right?
a little
Yeah.
extra note of joy in this week,
Absolutely.
and things are a little less stressful, for many anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but the weather's going to be a little bit stressful in the morning.
A little bit. If you're one of those last-minute shoppers that were hoping to get out to the shopping centers tomorrow first thing, you know, you might want to set some time aside to get there early and to get there slowly and safely, because it looks like it might be a little bit of a mess. Scattered flurries when you start your day at around 8 a.m. Now that's going to turn over to potentially freezing rain around 10, because we're going to see that temperature starting to warm up, Tony.
Okay. Well, we have been looking forward to this because we're kind of from the same generation when it comes to, you know, pop culture, TV shows we grew up with.
Absolutely.
Music, we're on the same page.
Certainly.
I know that. We had a whole text string about Alanis Morissette over the weekend. Won't go down that rabbit hole. Yes. But if you're looking to take a trip down memory lane, this is a rabbit hole that would be fun to go down.
So excited.
Exhibition at Harbourfront Centre in Toronto might be the place for you.
It's a reflection on decades of children's television history, stuff that we love so much.
Yeah.
CTV's Corey Baird has more.
The polka dot door. Before the streaming wars, before second screens, this was the only tube in town. Mr. Dress Up to Degrassi, 42 years of legendary Toronto Kids TV, is both a time capsule and a love letter, a celebration of shows that shaped a generation of young minds.
Here are the Grogs, of course, Casey and Finnegan, the Polka Dot Door, Muffy the Mouse, the Night Watchman Sam Crenshaw, and Miss Pennypacker.
Curator Ed Conroy says these shows may have lacked in budget, but not staying power.
And those programs were on for decades. You would have, say, a kid watch that show in the 1950s, and then their kids watched the same show, you know, in the 80s. When those people come into this exhibit and they see these characters again and they see the sets, it's like seeing an old family member.
If you have kids, they're probably not even watching TV on TV. They're watching it on one of these. And as for the content itself, well, chances are it's a little bit different than the days of rabbit ears. You might be tempted to think 20th century content was simpler. The simple truth, shows like Degrassi and today's special tackled social issues decades before terms like safe spaces and trauma had even been invented.
Remember that silver flask I used to carry?
Oh, yeah. Before, things were more thought through and It's like cool to learn about that. It's nice to see that people still care about this stuff and that there's still a push to keep this sort of stuff alive.
It's a second engagement for this exhibit, a rerun as it would have been called in the 80s. So while it may be a social media world, for some people, broadcast still can't be beat.
Seeing these puppets on screen, they weren't fake. They were our friends.
Corey Baird, CTV News, Toronto.
Okay.
Too good.
Couple of observations.
Too good, yes.
There was a very short clip in there from the intro of the first Degrassi, which not a lot of people remember was called The Kids of Degrassi Street.
Oh, look at you.
And some of the actors were the same, but their character names were different.
Okay.
For example, Wheels' name was Griff.
There you go.
in Kids of Degrassi Street. But I can't walk by Degrassi Street on Queen East in Leslieville without thinking of that show. And I can't walk by the old Bay store across from the Eaton Center without thinking of Today's Special, because that's where the opening sequence was filmed.
Oh, that's so good. My friend Katrina actually played Emma's baby on the original Degrassi. So that's my little tie to Degrassi
Emma's
High.
baby.
Emma's baby is my friend Katrina.
In Degrassi High?
In Degrassi High, the original, yes.
That's a fun fact.
You know, we grew up in Scarborough, so
you would
just
win
down the street from where they shot that. So.
And that was the great part about Degrassi, was seeing all the places you knew in the show.
Home away from home.
Yes. Okay, we could go on forever.
We could.
But unfortunately, we have to say goodnight. We'll see you back here a little bit later tonight after football. Take care. Have a good night.